The following program is designed to demonstrate simple workouts that you can use to improve your health. Be sure to consult your physician before beginning any exercise program.
Stay tuned for Body and Spirit, where today we're going to learn about how to have good posture. Hello, I'm Dick Nunez, Wellness Director of the Black Hills Health and Education Center. Welcome to Body and Spirit. Today we're going to be going over a problem area for a lot of people, and that's bad posture. So often you see people as they get older start to slouch over, have trouble standing up straight, and it causes a wide range of problems far beyond just cosmetic. So we're going to talk today about that. This is going to be a good program for everybody, no matter what age you are. How often do you see a young person slouching around with their pants half down and walking around all bent over, or the elderly people who flat out can't stand up anymore? So for all of you, this program will be very helpful. Today, helping me out will be Greg and John, so let's get started. Anytime we deal with flexibility, we need to deal with good range of motion, so we're just going to swing our arms around a little bit just to get ourselves opened up and relaxed a little bit and to get the muscles ready to work. We're going to be focusing a lot on the shoulder area because so much of that area affects how we stand. Okay, let's go the other way now. And just feel the shoulders nice and loose. We don't want to do anything in a ballistic fashion. We want to keep everything nice and smooth. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to put our arms out at a 90-degree angle. We're going to squeeze them together in the middle, try and touch the elbows together, and then push back out. Squeeze together, push back out. Go all the way out, squeeze in, and back out. This is an excellent move for a good range of motion. Try and keep the upper arm parallel to the ground at all time, focusing on the squeeze in the middle. You can do this sitting down or standing up. Once you get to the middle, then give it a nice little hard squeeze if you can. For some, you might not be able to get all the way to the middle. That's okay. As you do this, the more you do it, the better it should become. Okay, now let's bring the hands down here. Let's just give it a nice hard squeeze. Give it an isometric contraction. You should feel it in the chest area. As we do this, just go ahead and relax for a moment. Okay, squeeze again. So we should be able to focus right in this area as we do this squeeze. Okay? Next thing we do whenever we work on muscles, we like to stretch it out. So let's reach back and just feel that stretch. Now bring it across. Okay, and reach back. Feel the stretch. And bring it across. Okay, good. All right, Greg, I want you to come up to me for a moment and just turn around with your back to the front. What we're going to be focusing on here is this range coming right through here. The trapezius muscles start up in the occipital region and they come all the way down to T12. But there's lots of muscles that run underneath those as well. The rhomboids, the teres minor, teres major, infraspinatus, supraspinatus. There's a lot of them. The bottom line is there would help keep you erect. Oftentimes, if we can get a profile view of him, can we get a shot of his side here? Okay, we'll turn you this way. Oftentimes we see people, they'll have what's called the forward head tilt. Okay, just relax your head there and come forward. And you'll see them. You don't even want to do it, do you? But they have a forward head tilt. And this is very common with women. So often they have this forward head tilt. And if you actually put them in a proper position, which Greg automatically wanted to go to, he didn't like that forward head tilt. But when they're in a proper position and you put their necks back, they feel like you're pushing them over backwards because they've lost the posture there. And if that chin is tilted forward, go ahead and do that again. Then you start to get a rounding of this upper thoracic area, and that causes the kyphosis effect that women don't want, where they get that rounding hump or Dowers hump of that upper thoracic vertebrae. Okay, so that just gives you a little idea of what we're going to be doing. Now, Greg, one more thing. If you get the towels for us, we'll start some exercises for that area. So while we're doing this, we're going to put a lot of emphasis on the shoulders, the rear part of the shoulders, and the muscles of the upper back, the major muscles there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our towels, and once again, we want to act like we're going to try and tear them in two. And I promised to let somebody have the towel if they could tear it in two, and nobody's done it yet, including me. Okay? So we're going to bring it back to the chest, and then we're going to push out, just like we're doing a bench press, but we're doing it standing up. We're going to be pulling out as we do it. Touch the chest, push back out. Touch the chest, push back out. You can control how hard you work by how hard you're pulling out on the towel. What we're doing right now is we're focusing on a range of motion. We're working so that we can feel the scapula come together as we come back. That's very important. Bring the scapula back. Remember, we want to keep the xiphoid process up, keep the sternum up. Extremely important whenever we exercise. Okay, now let's take our towels from the same type of angle, except now we're going to be pushing up. So we're pressing up, pulling down. Pressing up, pulling down. Once again, we're pulling it apart as we do the exercise. Try and feel the scapula come together as you come down, and then press back up. Let's do 5 more. And 3 more. Try and get it straight up overhead. And last one coming up. Okay, now just hold it overhead. Now we're going to pull across. Now pull the other way. Good. And pull. And pull. And pull. Okay, while we're doing this exercise, keep going. We want to feel it through here in the latissimus dorsi area. That's a major muscle that wraps around the back and helps add stability. Go ahead and keep it going, fellas. As we get stronger, we automatically stand up straighter. So it's just an automatic response. We don't have to think about standing up straight anymore. Automatically, we'll just do it. And whenever you're slouched over, we have to understand our vertebral column, the central nervous system, is a vast network of nerves going to all areas of the body. And when that happens, if you cut something off by slouching over, you'll have a lot of problems. Okay, let's go ahead and rest there for a moment. Now we're going to take it from the front, starting down around the waist and up, straight up overhead and back down. Up overhead and back down. Want to keep a good steady pull again as we do this exercise. All the way up and back down. This is a simulation of a pullover. We're extending the arms all the way back and pull it on over. Good. You should be feeling that up in your upper back area as we do that exercise. Anything we stimulate up there is going to be very beneficial for the stability of that back area. Let's do 5 more. All these exercises are fairly simple, but it's going to give you the chance to feel all those muscles. Remember, there are 16 different muscles attaching to each side of the scapula. One more time. Good. Okay, Greg, I think we can toss those off to the side now. Okay, we're going to put our arms out now, and we're going to do circles. We're going to try and make the circles fairly large. Whenever you do rotation of the shoulder, you work the muscles of the rotator cuff, which are simply the supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, and subscapularis. Those 4 muscles make up what we call the rotator cuff. Okay, let's go backwards now. Nice full range, reach around. As we go through that rotation, we'll feel the deltoids, the shoulders. We'll also feel those minor muscles in the upper back. Okay, now we're going to put a little improvisation in there. We're going to bend over and still do our circles. Now we'll be hitting it just at a little different angle. Okay, and forward. Anybody who swims the butterfly stroke is well accustomed to this type of action. Okay, let's do 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Glad I didn't have to make my living as a butterfly swimmer. That started to make my shoulders tired. Okay, let's pull your arm across now so we can feel it stretch. Remember, we're going to hold each stretch for about 10 to 15 seconds. Let's do the other side now. Okay, now let's bring the arm up over the head. Pull it across. You want to feel it stretch along that side, along that latissimus dorsi area. Okay, let's switch over to the other side now. Nice gentle pull. You don't want to pull too hard. Stretching should feel comfortable, but you should feel like you're taking your muscles through the range of motion. Pull for about 3 more seconds. Okay, good. Okay, just let the arms relax for a moment. Anytime we work with posture, we want to work balance of muscles. We spend a lot of time working on the upper back, up in the neck area. Now we're going to work on the arms a little bit. And we're going to just do it by doing our bicep exercise. We're going to put our arms out. We're going to flex our arms down and reach back. And squeeze down and out. And squeeze. Good. Keep it up. And keep those arms up nice and high. Good. Let's do 10 more of them. This is 1 and 2 and 3. Good. Keep it going. 4, 5, 6, 7. 3 more. 8, 9. Last one. Good. Okay, let the arms relax. Okay. Now we're going to just take the palm of our hand to brace our wrist, and we're going to press down and work it back up again. Try and get a nice range of motion again. All the way down and bring it up. We want to try and keep our elbow in one spot, so we don't want to lift up like that. We just want to keep it in one steady spot as we do the exercise. And if we do a bunch of these and then do our push-ups, then they're even more fun. We won't do that today, though. Okay, let's do 5 more. And 2 more. Good. Okay, switch. Anytime you do an exercise, you want to focus on the muscle you're working. Oftentimes when people do an exercise, go ahead and keep going, I'll ask them, so where did you feel that at? And they'll point to their forearm, or they'll point to someplace totally opposite of where we're working. So it's so important to have your mind where your muscle is. Whatever muscle you're working, that's what you want to think about. So in this case, we're working the triceps, the back of the arms. So that's where we should be feeling it. You feeling it there? Yeah. All right, good. 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Okay. Whenever we do the body and we focus on posture, probably one of the biggest areas we need to focus on is the lower back and the gluteus maximus area and the upper thighs. And the best exercise I know to cover all those areas in one shot, squats, right? Okay, so we're going to do some squats today. Remember, when you do squats, they're probably one of the most difficult exercises to do. But as we've mentioned before, when people say, is squatting bad for you? Well, no, we squat all the time. Squatting improperly can be bad for you, but the reality is if you don't squat at all, then you're really in trouble, because the weaker the legs get, the harder it is to do anything. So for people who have bad knees or bad hips, bad joints, if your muscles are stronger, those joints will be stronger. Because remember, a joint has no strength other than the muscles that cross that to give it the power to be able to move. So we're going to be doing some squats, and posture and the way we do squats is extremely important. Whenever we squat, we want to make sure that our feet are apart, a little wider in shoulder width. We want our toes turned out just slightly. Now, we can do modifications of squats, which we'll do at another time, but it's very important to have good posture when you do that. Remember, we want the xiphoid process up, so the chest is up, and when we squat down, the first movement is not knees over the feet. We actually push our hips back and make sure our knees stay over our feet. So, okay, so fellows, if you want to go ahead and cross your arms, okay, and now when you go ahead and squat down, push your hips back as you squat. Good. Good. Okay, up. Okay, squat down and just hold your position. Okay, now, since I know you guys can hold that for a long time, what we have is, you see, we're almost at a parallel to the floor, and this is pretty good. We could actually go down just a little bit more. Good. Good. Okay, that's about right. Okay, up. Okay, and squat down. Okay, now when you come up, go ahead and come back up again. Don't come all the way up. Keep the tension on and back down. Good. And back up. Now, if you need help, you can hold on to a counter or a door handle or something that will allow you to sit back and squat, and it'll help pull you back up. Or you may not go down very deeply. When somebody's first starting out, they may only go down a few inches, and that's okay, because that's all their body will allow them. Both these fellows are in pretty good shape, so they can easily squat down there and just hold that position. In fact, let's do that. Let's go down and just hold it there. Nice and tight. You guys would make good catchers for baseball. Okay? Maybe not. Okay? Start up a little bit. Okay? Now go back down again. Just hold it there. Now as we do this, now we're forcing their muscles to really work, because they're just holding a position statically, and so their muscles are being overloaded a little bit. Now come back up. Okay? Back down again. Okay, and up a little bit, and back down. Okay, now up all the way. Well, you bounced right up on that, Greg. Okay, down, back down. Okay, now up a little bit. Okay, and stop right there. We're going to hold that for 30 seconds. We'll see how we do there. Now this is really going to call in a lot of fibers because their legs are already tired. You see Greg starting to, uh-oh. John's hanging in there. Okay, so they're looking okay. They've got good posture there. Oh, I forgot to look at the clock. Okay, well, we'll catch it. Got about 10 more seconds. Good, good. As we see, we're starting to wobble a little bit here. I want to get a close-up of these legs here. Okay, and relax. Good job. Okay, anytime we do an exercise, especially as difficult as squats, you didn't feel that all, did you, John? Okay. We want to make sure we stretch those out. Now, I'm going to let you use me as a wall again. I think you've done this before. Just put a hand on my shoulder. Okay, and I want you grab your left ankle. Okay, now stand up and you want to bring it back up, so you're going to stretch that quadricep. There we go. Feel that stretch? And then if you need to lift up a little bit, that's okay. Some people, when they first start the stretch, they can't even get a hold of their ankle. But over the course of time, we get so they can. Okay, switch. Okay, a nice steady pull. Remember, all our stretching is very controlled. There's no ballistic bouncing of our stretches, because that's when somebody can get hurt and injure themselves. Okay, good. Okay, now let's stretch the hamstrings. The way we'll do it is simply step out and lead forward into it. And as people get really flexible, if you want to grab the foot, that's okay. just feel that nice, steady stretch. Okay, let's switch over to the other side now. And feel it stretch back and through there. You should feel this all the way down that calf area, the back of the knee, all the way up the hamstrings and up into the gluteal tie-in. Nice, steady stretch. As you can see, both the guys here can get a hold of their foot. That's good. That just gives them a little better emphasis on the stretch. Okay, good. Go ahead and relax. Okay, what I want you to do now is you're going to let you use me again as a step, and I want you guys to get your toes on the edge of the platform there. Come over closer to me so you can put your hand on my shoulder so you don't fall off. Okay, and we're going to do toe raises. Go all the way down. Okay, now push way up high. Okay, good. Way up high. Now you can just do this on a stair step, or if you have just some little step where you can have it close to some place where you can hang on to. Pretty difficult to balance and get a full stretch down. It's very important whenever you do calves to get a good range of motion, because this is what helps keep those Achilles tendons nice and flexible as we make those calf muscles strong. Remember, the Achilles tendon is that large tendon that crosses down over the ankle into underneath the heel. And if somebody ruptures an Achilles tendon, they're going to be on the shelf for quite a while and have a surgical procedure they're going to have to go through in order to correct it. So by doing this, it's a very good exercise. You have to do a lot of repetition because the calf muscles have a lot of slow twitch muscle fibers because they're moving all the time. You're walking constantly, so they're constantly doing work, and so they're used to exercising for a long time. So these guys can probably go for quite a while before we do that, but we don't have much more time, so we'll stop you here pretty soon. Okay, and what we can do also is I want you guys to speed up a little bit. Just one right after another. There you go. Just by varying speeds of an exercise, we can control how fast we can fatigue somebody. Okay, now slow it down. Okay, speed it up again. Now this is an excellent exercise to do, especially for those who may have ankle problems. Once again, the ankle doesn't have any strength in it unless the muscles that are crossing that ankle are going to give it some work. So whenever you do this, you want to try and get your heels down as far as you can, then press way up onto the toes. Very important. Okay, let's go fast again. Let's pump them up. Let's pump 20 of them up. Faster, faster, good. Look like you're on a pogo stick, Greg. Good. This makes for an interesting picture. You starting to feel them yet? Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, let's do about 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. And extremely important now is stretching these calves out as we work them through. So we're going to put a leg back and just press the heel to the floor. Feel that stretch. Remember one thing though, stretching is not warming up. Stretching is simply stretching. Warming up is starting to exercise gradually, slowly, like when we swing the arms around, that's more of a loosening up, warming up type thing. But stretching is not warming up. Stretching is simply stretching. And the best time to stretch, and people oftentimes ask that question, is after exercise, not so much before. And you notice when we do our exercises, we do the exercise, we fatigue the muscle, and then we go ahead and do the stretch. Okay, so once again, we're feeling the back of that leg, down to that calf area. Okay, good. Now, for the trunk, we're going to do some abdominal work, and there's various ways of doing abdominal work, but for posture purposes, we're going to go ahead and do our abdominal work standing up today, and we're going to focus on crunching over at the waist, and that's an important aspect. Remember, we talk about the abs. Do not cross a joint. They simply stabilize the body, and they only have a 4-inch range of motion. So this is all they do. So what we're going to do is we're going to do that abdominal crunch, and then as we do that, we're going to continue on over so we can use the lower back muscles as well. So we're going to crunch. So first thing we're going to think about is this crunch motion here, just like this. So when we're pushing our lower back out and feeling the abdominal crunch, and then we're going to bend over as we go. Okay? And as we come back to where we were, then we're going to lay back and stretch the abdominal out. Okay, now crunch over, and up, and then lay back. Good. Feel that contraction. When you come forward, feel that contraction. Over. Now up. Hold that contraction, then lay back. Good. Crunch over. Bend over. Come up. Hold that. Now lay back. Good. Crunch forward. Okay, and over. And up. Hold that crunch, and then up. Okay, you guys keep going. Crunch over. Good. Good. Lay back. Okay, again. Crunch. Okay. Okay. I want you guys to stop for just a second. Now, both these fellows have good abdominal walls. You're going to have to trust me on that. I can touch them, you can't. And they really can't answer me because they're not mics, so you wouldn't be able to hear them. But you can still nod. Now, both you guys have pretty fit abdomens. Could you feel your abdomen at all when you were crunching that? Okay, what about you? Okay. Now, the point of this is somebody can say, well, I need to use a lot of weight or I need to get on the floor. But the bottom line, if you really focus your muscles and do them properly, you don't have to do all sorts of repetitions with lots of weight. You can do them very controlled, and you're going to feel those muscles work. Okay? Now what we're going to do is we're just going to turn. We're going to rotate. So we stretch out a little bit there and stretch the external obliques. Very important to be able to have the flexibility in rotation, because so often in our life we're being called upon to turn. Okay? Turn again. And one more time. And turn. Okay, good. Thanks a lot, fellows. In the Bible, there's a story in the book of Daniel where Daniel and his friends are given food to eat that they usually wouldn't eat. So what they do is they ask for the king, or not for the king's food, but their own food, healthy food. And when the king checks them later on, he finds that they're much fairer, much healthier, standing much more erect. They just look better. They have this continence of health. And as we do this, as we get into regular exercise and our posture becomes better, we will carry ourselves more effectively. People will notice that we're standing up straighter. I've had people go through programs I've taught before who actually leave taller because they're now standing more erect. So good posture is very important. But remember, we want to do it all for the glory of God. We can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. God bless, and we'll see you next time.